Day 249 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again. Another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems, y'all. And today we have question number 210, course schedule 2. The difficulty level is medium, but don't you worry. We're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand. So let's get into it and see what the question says. Question says, there are a total of nums courses you have to take, labeled from 0 to num courses minus 1. You are given an array prerequisites where prerequisites of I equals AI, comma BI indicates that you must take course BI first if you want to take course AI. For example, the pair 0 and 1 indicates that to take course 0, you first have to take course 1. Return the ordering of courses you should take to finish all courses. If there are many valid answers, return any of them. If it is impossible to finish all courses, return an empty array. So, let's break that down by looking at example 1 so we can see what it is that they're talking about. We did a similar problem yesterday where we did course schedule 1. So if you missed that, go ahead and check that out. However, yesterday we only had to return true or false if we were able to take all of the courses depending on cycles and prerequisites. This time they actually want us to list the courses in order that we would have to take or to list the prerequisites in order that we would have to take in order to take all of the courses. So let's get into it. Let's see what example 1 says. Example 1 says input num courses equals 2, prerequisites equals a 2D array 1 and 0. The output is 0 and 1. There are a total of 2 courses you have to take. To take course 1, you should have finished course 0, so the correct course order is 0 and 1. So as it says up here, the pair 0 1 indicates that to take course 0, you first have to take course 1, right? So if we want to take course 0, first we have to take course 1. Similar in example 1, if we want to take course 1, first we have to take course 0, right? So that's why the output is 0 then 1, because we have to take course 0, and then in order to take course 1. So once again, we're just listing the prerequisites in order of all up until we take all of the necessary courses. So let's look at example 2 where it will be a little bit more in-depth example because they give us more courses and more examples to go through. So let's look at example 2. In example 2, we have num courses equals 4, prerequisites equals a 2D array. That first array is 1 and 0, second array is 2, 0, third array is 3 and 1, and the last array is 3, 2. The output is an array of integers 0, 2, 1, and 3. So let's break that down so we can see how they got this output, right? So first, we go through the prerequisites. We have course, first we have first array give us 1 and 0, meaning we have to take course 0 before we can take course 1. Boom. So we could just mark that right here. Boom. If we want to take course 0, first we have, if we want to take course 1, first we have to take course 0. So this is the current order. Now we look at the second array. If we want to take course 2, we have to take course 0 first. We have to take course 0 as well, right? So we come over here and mark that as well. It says we already took course 0, so we could put course 2 right here, right? Or we could do it like this. We could put 0, 2, and 1, because it doesn't really matter which order we have to take. If we want to take course 1, we have to take course 0 first, and if we want to take course 2, we have to take course 0 first. So far, both of these orders will match because it says right here, there are many valid answers. We can return any of them. So right now, both of these answers are lining up to what we have to do with our prerequisites. But we're not done yet, right? So if we want to take course 3 in the next array or the next set of prerequisite and courses, if we want to take course 3, we see we have to take course 1 before we can take course 3, right? So up here, we already took course 1, so we could put the 3 right here. Boom. Then we come over here. It also says if we want to take course, or we can't put the 3 here yet because it says if we want to take course 3, then we also have to take course 2. But we have taken course 1 and 2 already, right? As you can see, we already took courses 1 and 2. So that means we could put a 3 right here. And same vice versa for this answer as well. We already took course 2 and course 1. Those are both of those are prerequisites for course 3, right? So since we already did that, we could put a 3 right here. Now, let's look at the explanation, see what it says. It says, there are a total of 4 courses to take. To take course 3, you should have finished both courses 0. To take course 3, you should have finished both courses 1 and 2. Both courses 1 and 2 should be taken after you finish course 0. So the correct course order is 0, 1, 2, 3, which we have right here. Or another correct order is 0, 2, 1, 3, which we have right here. They chose 0, 2, 1, 3, but like I said before, we can return any of them, right? If there are multiple valid answers, we can return any of them. So these are 2 valid answers. They chose to return this one right here, but they both work, and that's how they got them, right? We just have to go through it and see which prerequisites we have to take in order to take the final course, right? So let's look at example 3, where it's another little tricky question, but we should be able to get through it, right? So in example 3 of num courses equals 1, prerequisites, num courses equals 1, prerequisites equals a blank array, meaning there are no prerequisites, but there are no prerequisites, but there is one course we have to take. So the output is 0 for course 0, just because that's the course we have to take, but there are no prerequisites for course 0. So we could just take course 0 and go on about our day. So now that we understand the question, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution, y'all. But before we get into the solution, if you need any new Apple AirPods, go ahead and check that link out in the description. And then after that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, y'all, so we can run this engagement up on this channel, get this Swift content out to more people. Now, let's get into the solution, y'all. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to create a dictionary which will store the prerequisites of each course, right? So in order to do that, we are just going to declare a variable. We'll call it premap, and we'll set that equal to a dictionary. Open up the square brackets. The key will be an integer, then we'll say colon. The value will be an array of integers. Come outside the dictionary and place 2 parentheses like that. And premap will hold a course as the key and a list of prerequisites as the value. So this will be a list of prerequisites, and this will be the key, right? So this will be the course that we need to take or that we want to take, and this will hold all of the prerequisites that we need to take in order to take this course. Boom. So now, we're not done yet. Now we need to initialize premap with empty arrays for each course, right? So we need to create empty arrays for each course. So in order to do this, we're going to say for I in 0 up to num courses, open up the brackets, premap square bracket I equals a blank array. And this will ensure that every course has a place to store its prerequisites, right? So now after that, we're going to come down here and we need to populate the premap with the given prerequisites, right? So right now we haven't populated this, we just created this stuff, right? So in order to do that, we are just going to say for pre in prerequisites, open up the brackets, we're going to say premap, open up the square brackets, open up more square brackets, 0, come outside, that's one square bracket, but still inside the other square bracket, the last square bracket, we're going to say comma, default. So we're creating our default dictionaries, right? So default square bracket int, come outside of that, in between those 2 square brackets, and put two parentheses like that. Come outside of the square brackets and we'll say dot append, open up the parentheses, and we're going to say pre square bracket 1, just like this, right? So once again, this is going to be the key, and then which would be this index 0, excuse me, would be this index, would be index 0, and this is going to be the prerequisites or the value, which would be this index over here, right, which is the prerequisite. Boom. So, that's why this is index 1 for index 1. This is index 0 for index 0. Boom. Don't get confused by the values. We're talking about indexes over here, right? So, boom. Now we need to set up variables which will track the visited courses and help us to detect any cycles that we may encounter. If you missed yesterday's problem, I encourage you to check it out so you can see what a cycle is. They don't give us any examples of the cycles this problem today, but yesterday they did. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. So first thing we are going to do, we need to set up a variable for the visited. So we're going to declare a variable. We'll call it visited. Set that equal to a set of integers. So we'll say let set less than int greater than, put two parentheses. That's how you create a set of integers. Then we need to do the same thing for cycle. So we're going to declare a variable, call that cycle, and create another set of integers like we did up top before. Boom. Now we need to also create an array that will store the result for us at the end, right? Which will have the order of all the prerequisites and courses that we need. So to do that, we're just going to declare a variable, we'll call that res, which is short for result, and that's going to be the array of integers, right, for output like this over here, right? So array of integers, don't forget the parentheses right there. Now we need to create our helper function, which is going to perform a depth first search for us, and this will check if a valid course order is possible starting from a given course. So in order to do that, it's going to be a little recursion. So remember this function, we're creating this function inside of the main function. So we're going to say func dfs, open up the parentheses, underscore number colon int, come outside of those parentheses. It's going to return a boolean, and we are going to open up the brackets, and let's get started, right? First thing we need to do, we need to see if the current course is in the cycle set, and if a cycle is detected, then we can just return false. So in order to do that, we're just going to say if cycle dot contains, open up the parentheses, number, come outside those parentheses, open up the brackets, we could just return false, just like so, right? We're not done yet though, because now we need to, what should we do next? Well, now we need to see if the current, we already did the cycle, so now we could do the visited, right? So now we need to check to see if a current course has already been visited, which will so we don't revisit go over the same things, and that means it can be completed and there's no cycle, right? So we need to handle the case for when there is no cycle, and we need to keep track of the nodes that we visited. So in order to do that, we're just gonna say if visited dot contains, open up parentheses, number, then we could just return, open up the square, come outside of that, open up the brackets, and we could just return true, just like that, right? Now we need to get we need to get all of the prerequisites for the current course, and if there is no prerequisites that exist, then we could just return true, meaning like the course has already been completed, right? So in order to do that, we could use a guard statement, and we could just say guard let pres equal premap, open up square brackets, number, come outside of that, else, open up the parentheses, we can return true, just like that. Now we need to mark the course as being processed, right? So in order to do that, we just come down here and we are going to say cycle.insert, open up the parentheses, number, just like that. Not done yet. We're getting there. We're getting there, y'all. We're getting there, but we're not done yet. Because now we need to recursively visit all of the prerequisites of the current course, right? And if any prerequisite leads to a cycle, then we could just return false. So in order to do that, we're just going to say for I and press, open up the brackets. We're going to say if DFS, open up the parentheses, I, equals false, then we could just return false. Now, after all of the prerequisites have been processed, we need to remove the course from the cycle set, and we need to mark the course as being visited, meaning it's been fully processed, and we need to add it to the result list. So it sounds like a lot, but it's not. We just have to go through all of these variables that we created and let them know that what we need to do. Let them know if we should remove the prerequisite or insert the prerequisite or append the prerequisite to the course order, right? So for the cycle, we can remove we can remove it, right? So we're just gonna say cycle.remove, open up the parentheses, number, boom, just like that. Then for the visited, we need to mark these prerequisites as visited. So for that, we could just say visited.insert, open up the parentheses, number. Then we still need to add it to the results array. So we could just say res.append, open up the parentheses, number. Boom. And then we could return true, which indicates that the course and its prerequisites can be completed. So we could just say return true for that. Now, we're not done yet, y'all. We still need to loop over all courses and perform the DFS for each one. So we come outside of that function, that helper function, but still inside the main function. And we are going to say for n 0 up to num courses, open up the brackets. We're going to say if DFS, open up the parentheses, n equals false, open up the brackets. We are going to say return a blank array. And now we're almost done, but we still needed to return the results array. So in order to do that, we could just say return res. Boom, just like that. So let's run it, see how it runs. Hopefully it runs correctly. First try, that's what I'm talking about. So let's submit it, make sure it stays accepted. Let's see. Ooh, 6 milliseconds beats 24.20% of users with Swift, y'all. I know those numbers, we could get those numbers up later on down our LeetCode journey. Right now, we're just focused on being able to solve a problem that is presented to us, and we need a solution that will be simple and easy to understand so that we can internalize what we have learned today, which will help us when we need to use that knowledge again later for later LeetCode problems, y'all. So that's why I still feel like this is a good solution, because it's easy to understand and we'll be able to learn something and internalize what we learned, which will help us further down our LeetCode journey, y'all. So hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. Before we go, y'all, get one more look at the code, Make sure y'all didn't miss anything. Read it, learn it, love it, remember it, internalize it, do what you need to do in order to become a better LeetCoder, y'all. So get one more look at it. And yeah, hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.